Chester. Welcome back to Sports Talk Live. This week, let's talk WC lacrosse and baseball, then finish up discussing the NBA playoffs as well as Kobe Bryant's recent injury. Remember, if there's a sport or topic you want us to cover, be sure to let us know. Let's kick things off with women's lacrosse.
Taking a look at the women's lacrosse team, after winning their first 9 games, they seem to hit a little rough patch. They've lost 2 of the last 3. What do they need to do to get back to their winning ways and make a championship run?
Well, Riley, they lost to LIU-Post, the #1 team. It was a rematch from last year's national championship game. Unfortunately, they didn't play very well. They ended up losing 17-8. But moving forward, they have to not let the ball get into their defensive zone so often. There was a lot of shots on goal. Keeping it in the offensive zone will allow them to play better and move forward, win more games, moving to the playoffs.
Taylor, I think what you said is exactly right. In the first 9 games, we were playing weaker opponents and then playing against Rollins and the best team in the country, LIU-Post. The ball was just in our zone way too much. Jess Henderson faced 30 shots on goal in the 2 losses that we had, which is way too much. And if you want to win lacrosse games, you can't let that happen.
You're right, Brian. And all 9 victories for the Golden Rams, the most shots that the goalie has seen is only 19. So a third more shots seen when they lost. Not a good recipe for success for the Golden Rams.
Yeah, and we can't put that all on Jess Henderson. I mean, it starts on the offensive end, as you guys touched on. We got to keep the ball in the offensive zone. That takes the pressure off the defense. And when it does get in the defensive zone, our defenders got to do a better job of on-the-ball defense, making sure their shots, or not as many shots, get to Jess Henderson.
Now, we have 3 big games coming up on the road. They're all against ranked opponents, and that's in the next 9 days. So that's really going to tell us something because we were 5th in the country before that loss against LIU-Post, and only the top 6 teams make the NCAA tournament. So we really have to pick it up. And what do you guys think our chances of? We wanted to see that rematch, but now we have to even think about getting into that tournament. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I mean, as you said, we're going to drop because we just lost to LIU-Post, and only 6 make it. So if we lose 1, I think we're in trouble. If we lose 2, I mean, I almost got to count us out. It'd be a real big disappointment. But if we lose 1, I think we have to win the PSAC tournament to get in.
You're right, Riley, but I actually look at it in a good way. 3 ranked opponents, tough games, but they can win. They can move up really high in the standings. It's a good tune-up too, going to the PSAC tournament. So I think this actually will actually benefit the Golden Rams at the end of the day, and it will help us move forward into the playoffs and hopefully into the national championship game.
Westchester Baseball has dropped 4 of their last 5 games after their 4-game stint versus ESU. Now, like our lacrosse team, they seem to have hit a little bit of a rough patch. What do you think is the problem for our defending national champions?
Well, when you hear losing 4 to 5, you think that's pretty bad. When you take a closer look at it, it's not that bad. We lost by 2 games, and we lost by 1 in another game. And the 1 game that we got blown out, we made some mistakes in the late innings, and the score got out of hand. So, you know, you make some plays in the late innings, and some of those losses turn into W's.
You're right, and it's been so close. The pitching's really been keeping us in it, 1, 2-run games. A lot of that also has to do with just the luck of the bounce, Baseball is a game of bounces, and we haven't been getting them lately, but if we keep playing the way we have been and keep working hard, I think they'll go the other way and we'll win some games.
Now, that ESU whole series just seems scrappy to me. We were trailing in the first game, and the 7th inning, we got 2 runs, and then a costly error in the 8th. That's what cost us the game there. And then we weren't scoring runs in the 2nd game, and then we had a walk-off single to win that one. So just that whole series just seems scrappy. We're not scoring those early runs like we were doing last year. So I think that's one thing that we really need to do moving forward if we want to have another chance of going far into the tournament.
Yeah, I think in general our hitting needs to be more consistent. I mean, as you've been saying, our pitching's been keeping us in games. We need some guys to step up, come up with some big hits, get us over the top, and get us some wins.
We're 8-4 right now in conference play, and that's 3rd in the PSAC East. What are your guys' predictions moving into the tournament? Where do you see us sitting?
Well, Brian, I see them finishing right where they are now, around the 3rd spot. They do have a bunch of games against teams that are in 1st and 2nd place, and a couple teams that are below us. But overall, they just have not been consistent enough. I don't think that they'll move too far down, but I think around the 3rd spot's about where they'll finish this season.
Yeah, I like that prediction. I think that's where they will finish. But, I mean, like you said, we play 1st place cuts down 4 more times, 2nd place Millersville 4 more times. So the opportunity is going to be there to win those games, make it run at the PSAC East title. But then again, if we lose those games, maybe lose a couple games we should win, we could finish 5th and miss the playoffs altogether.
Yeah, that's what I'm really worried about. Right now, we're in 3rd place, but ESU, after that series, is right behind us, and Millersville has a little bit of a gap for us to catch them in the 2nd place spot. So if we play good baseball, we can always catch them and move into the 2nd place spot, but I'm just really worried. I don't want to see us dropping anymore, but I think that we're going to be able to pick it up, and in the end, we'll be in that 3rd place spot, moving into the PSAC tournament, and we're going to be good. With the NBA playoffs beginning, we wanted to see who Westchester students see winning the NBA Finals. That's why we asked this for this week's Question of the Week. So let's see what the students had to say.
I think it's going to be the Heat versus the Thunder because the Heat are just dominating the East, and the Thunder have the youth to stay healthy throughout the playoffs, and I think the Heat are going to take it again in 5 games.
For the NBA Finals, I think it's definitely going to be the Heat and the Thunder. The big three on the Heat, I think they're definitely going to make it in the East. And then the Thunder because of Durant and Russell Westbrook. But I'm not yet sure who I think is going to win out of those two teams. It's going to be close. Might take all 7 games.
This NBA Finals, I got a repeat of the Thunder versus the Heat. I got the Heat winning in 6, opposed to 5 from last year. It's just going to be LeBron James again this season. He's entering his prime. Not much you can do to stop him.
Coming out of the West, I would have to go with the Thunder, just based on Kevin Durant. He's one of my favorite players in the league. The East, I think, is a no-brainer. You got to go with the Heat. So Heat, Thunder in the finals. Honestly, I don't see anyone stopping LeBron, D. Wade, and Kurt Bosh all together at once. They got a couple more role players in that team that really help out with that team. So I got to be frank here. I don't see the Heat losing any games in the playoffs, so I'll go Heat in 4 here.
For the Eastern Conference, I think probably the Heat are going to take that. I think they're the best team in the conference. And out West, I think it's either going to be Oklahoma City or Denver, but I'll put my money on Oklahoma City. And I think the Heat will probably take the finals in 6.
All right, guys, it was pretty unanimous. Most people decided that the Heat were going to win it all with LeBron James at the helm. I personally think that they're going to win too. They have too much talent. LeBron is just a monster. What do you guys think?
Well, when you look at the East, I mean, the Heat, they're in their own world. I mean, the Pacers match up pretty well with them, but I don't see them winning 4 games in a 7-game series. When you look out West, you got the Thunder, and you got some young teams like Denver and Golden State that can be a threat, but I think they're still like a year or 2 away to be serious contenders.
Yeah, I would love to say that the Heat aren't going to win, but I don't see anyone in the East even coming close. I think it's going to be them. And then taking a look at the West, what do you guys think? You think the Thunder? Do you have anyone that you could see beating the Thunder? So is it going to be a rematch or not?
Yeah, I do think it'll be a rematch. I just think no one can compete for 7 games with either of those 2 teams.
I'm going to go a little bit different. I'm going to go with the Nuggets. Like you stated earlier, Warriors, Nuggets, some younger teams, but I think the Nuggets with Iguodala, used to be a Philly guy, really been leading the team. You got Lawson, you got Freed, Gallinari's out for the year now, but I still think they have a lot of youth. They run all up and down the court so fast, and I just think they have a real shot at really running the Thunder out of the building. So we'll see what happens. I know it's a little bold, but overall I think that they do have a shot to beat the Thunder.
Now, I think it's odd that no one is talking about the Spurs whatsoever. They're one of the best teams in the NBA, and all of a sudden, getting towards the playoffs, everyone kind of is giving up on them. I think they're still a dominant team. There's no reason they have the seniority. There's no reason why they can't be contenders. So if I'm going to take my bold pick, I'm going to say the Spurs and the Heat, and then going in from there, who knows what's going to happen.
Guys, real quick, MVP for this season, LeBron? That's what
Absolutely, and the way he's been playing out of his mind, it's so hard to pick anyone but him.
Yeah, I would have to say LeBron too. Let's stay on the NBA topic, though. We have to talk about Kobe Bryant's injury, and the Lakers are moving into the playoffs. We're going to talk about how you see the Lakers moving forward in this playoffs, and then Kobe's just career overall. What do you think?
It's a shame to see this happen. I mean, they struggled all year. They did manage to grab a playoff spot, but I think it's just going to be too much for them to overcome. They might get out of the first round, but they're not going to be serious contenders.
You're right. Coming to the 7th spot, I think that's better than going against the Thunder. And another plus is that Dwight Howard, the 5 games after Kobe went out, they went 4-1. He had a couple huge games, but I just don't think it'll be enough to take on the Spurs and beat them. So I think it's going to end in the first round.
Yeah, I think they had their struggles the whole year with Kobe. There's no way it's going to go any better with him out. But do you see him coming back from this injury? You know, Achilles can be very difficult. Ryan Howard faced this last year. What do you guys think of just his future in the NBA?
Oh, I definitely think he'll come back. It's so hard to see him walking away at this point. I mean, he still has something to prove, that I can come back and compete with the best of them. I do think it'll be in the Lakers uniform. We're not done from here from Kobe, that's for sure.
I agree with you, but I think we have to keep it. He's old. You have to keep in mind that he's very old. So I think moving forward, I think he'll lose a step. I think he can still score. I think he'll still play. His career can't end like that. But I wouldn't be surprised if he lost a couple steps coming back after such a horrific injury.
Well, those were just our opinions, and as always, we want to hear from you guys, the viewers. So this week's poll question is going to be: will Kobe play another game in a Lakers jersey? Visit sportstalklive.net to cast your vote. That's going to do it this week on Sports Talk Live. Take it easy, Westchester.